In the world of presidential campaigns, there's little worse than finding yourself relegated to the status of a punching bag. But perhaps an even grimmer fate awaits those who transition from being a target to fading into political irrelevance. Ron DeSantis, the self-proclaimed champion of the war against woke culture and the darling of Florida's far-right, once posed as a formidable alternative to Donald Trump in the race for the presidency. However, recent months have seen a dramatic erosion of his support within the GOP, particularly evident in the critical state of New Hampshire. Not long ago, DeSantis enjoyed a moment in the sun, claiming the top spot in New Hampshire's political landscape back in January. By June, he found himself in second place, and by August, he had slipped to a distant third. However, his star has dimmed significantly since then. Now, the latest polls place him an even less flattering fifth in the Granite State. Veteran New Hampshire GOP strategist, Mike Donahue, minced no words when he told Politico, the campaign for Ron DeSantis is on life support. He has one shot at resuscitation, and that is the debate next week. So, we won't stick a fork in him just yet. The decline of Ron DeSantis can be attributed to a confluence of factors, ranging from his unlikable persona to the strategic missteps he's made. Unlike Donald Trump, who, despite his divisive nature, could be described as entertaining, DeSantis lacks the charisma that draws people in. He is perceived as an ornery and unlikable figure, making him an unappealing choice for voters looking for someone they'd want to share a cup of coffee with. DeSantis' strategic blunders was his heavy reliance on an anti-woke platform. While this rhetoric may have resonated with a particular faction of the GOP, it failed to gain traction with a broader audience. The numbers spoke for themselves, and DeSantis was forced to pivot away from this focus. Moreover, his attempt to out-Trump Trump backfired, as he lacked the authenticity and style that made Trump a political force. Beyond his strategic missteps, DeSantis struggled with social awkwardness and a lack of interpersonal skills. In the world of presidential politics, the question often comes down to who voters would prefer to have a beer with, and DeSantis certainly didn't fit the bill. His demeanor and behavior often came across as socially inept, leaving voters unimpressed and unengaged. One memorable incident involved DeSantis engaging in a debate with the public over the pronunciation of his own name. This episode showcased a candidate out of touch with the most basic aspects of his public image. In contrast, Donald Trump, for all his flaws, projected a sense of retribution and reclamation, themes that resonated with a broader swath of the electorate. DeSantis' self-centered approach and his inability to connect with voters on a personal level only drew more attention to his shortcomings. While DeSantis did demonstrate competence in using bureaucracy to achieve policy goals within his state, such as in the realm of education, he failed to translate this into a compelling national campaign narrative. Instead, he made the campaign all about himself, further emphasizing his personal idiosyncrasies and shortcomings. As the saying goes, the light that burns twice as bright burns half as long, and DeSantis seemed to burn out rapidly. When faced with the choice between the original, Donald Trump, and the copy, Ron DeSantis, voters appeared inclined to stick with the former. DeSantis' campaign was further hampered by its choice of starting states. Iowa, with its emphasis on retail campaigning and personal interaction, was a poor fit for a candidate who struggled to make eye contact and engage in handshakes. The comfort he displayed in these basic interactions set a negative tone for his campaign from the outset. New Hampshire, a state known for its libertarian leanings and live free or die motto, posed another challenge. DeSantis' support for a 6-week abortion ban and his attacks on woke culture fell flat in a state that prized individual freedom. His campaign failed to resonate with the people of New Hampshire, leading to his precipitous decline in the polls. One significant misstep that hurt DeSantis among Republicans was his highly publicized feud with Disney. This battle brought criticism from within his own party, with many Republicans in Florida questioning the wisdom of attacking a corporation like Disney for a mild rebuke of his policies. It was a losing battle that made DeSantis seem out of touch with the principles of the Republican Party, which traditionally championed free enterprise and limited government interference. Ultimately, DeSantis' campaign was marred not by a reflection of Republican cruelty but by poor strategy and an inability to connect with voters on a personal level. His journey from being a promising contender to a fading star illustrates the importance of likability and relatability in the world of presidential politics. As he approaches the end of his campaign, it becomes evident that he was not the alternative to Trump that many had hoped for, but rather a candidate who failed to package himself effectively for the national stage.